What's up guys, it's CG. So this is going to be a thorough review of The Tragedy of Lord George by the House of Penhaligons. First, I'm going to give you guys a rundown so you have a general idea what the fragrance is about. Then I'm going to share how users rated the scent profile and the performance. My wife and I are going to share our impressions of it. And finally, I'm going to share my overall opinion after wearing it. Without further ado, let's get this started. Alright, so to classify this fragrance, I would say it's a very typical fresh fougere barbershop shaving foam style scent. The only notes listed on Penhaligon's website are shaving soap and warming rum. On average, users rated the scent an 8.2, 72% gave it an 8 or above, and about a third of people would give it a 9 or a 10. I'm a bit conflicted with this one. It's not very creative. I don't like it as much in the dry down, but that opening, man, that's a blast in the face of like the ultimate fresh fougere. But overall, I would probably give it an 8 with all things considered. But on that opening, it's like a 9, easily a 9, a strong 9. For longevity, it got an average of a 7.4. 67% of users would give it a 7 or an 8, and then that was the most common rating. I'm gonna go against the grain here and give it a 6. It really didn't last too long on my skin. Kind of disappointed with it. Got a couple hours, 3 hours, maybe 4. For sillage, it got an average of a 7.1. Half of users gave it a 7, which was the most common rating. Again, I'm gonna have to give it a 6. Like, it's not really bad, but it was kind of disappointing. It doesn't really push out past the opening. Okay, so this opens up as a barbershop front and center barbershop scent in a very lavender heavy shaving foam style scent to me. Like a foamy soap is an excellent way for Penhaligons to describe it, even though they don't list the notes, because it is a very soapy lavender burst in the face of freshness. Okay, it's actually one of the best for what it does because it's razor sharp and it just cuts through like a perfect fresh barbershop lavender that just cuts through anything and is like almost just razor sharp. Comes in super refreshing, super clean, super invigorating, super calming, and everything good about that type of scent. Now this fragrance also kind of produces a optical illusion, I would call it, in the opening, because if I smell it, on one end I'm getting like a super barbershop lavender, and on another end I'm getting a floral type scent. I think of the flower baby's breath, or I think of fragrances like carnal flower, where I've kind of transitioned to saying this kind of reminds me of those, almost like a floral element, but then I go back to smelling this lavender shaving foam, so I kind of go back and forth between those two worlds. And underneath there is a bit of woods that's kind of smoothing it out, but that's very in the background and very just adding depth to the composition. Primarily I'm getting shaving foam. There's also this effect like when you're ironing a shirt and the steam is coming off of it, there's a light smell that you get with it. This has that in it, and so does Sartorial. It's the only other fragrance I've smelt this in, but this has it as well. But this is just that really nice, clean, soapy lavender shaving foam with that steam coming off of a freshly ironed clothing. And then also you have the woods kind of playing a role in the background. That's how I describe the opening of it. As it dries down, there's almost a light sweetness, like a kind of rum that comes out with the woodiness, and the shaving foam lavender kind of dials back. And it kind of just becomes this almost woodsy, soapy, fresh fragrance. The vibe of this, and Penhaligons has their own DNA. I get a very dapper vibe, a very British vibe from a lot of Penhaligons. And this one's no different. This one to me just smells like, it reminds me of Robin Williams on Good Will Hunting. Kind of just classic masculinity, a bookworm, someone who's intelligent. It's very clean. It's not something that's gonna stand out at all. This isn't a creative fragrance. It's very just a smell good fragrance. Somebody who works in like a corporate setting and is around a bunch of professionals that doesn't want something too strong or doesn't want to come off as the cologne guy would definitely wear something like this. I think it's the best in its category of being a super fresh fougere and having that super fresh barbershop scent. Like, it smells really good, but at the same time it's kind of underwhelming in the sense that You're paying 400, what is it, like $375 for a 75 mil to smell like shaving foam. At the end of the day, I can see somebody being pretty disappointed with it.
Okay, Penhaligon's Tragedy of Lord George. Gosh, what a name. This smells like you just showered and you put on baby powder. Very fresh, very clean. I like it. I have fragrances like this that are very similar to this. Philosophy Pure Grace, for example. That's a soap and water and powdery scent. And I use that as my mental health scent. Meaning when I don't even want to wear perfume because I'm having a crazy day, I still wear that. That could be this for men. I like it. It's nice, but don't wear it like on a day that you want to impress or feel sexy. It's not it. This is more like you had a long day, you want to relax and lay down and feel in peace. And this would do it. So for that, I give it a 6.
So for me, this fragrance is not it for me because it just seems so overpriced for what it's offering. It's really nice. I really like it. It's really refreshing. Honestly, if the opening carried longer, because that's my favorite part, like when it dries down, it becomes kind of muted to me and kind of flat. But if that opening stayed, it would be more worth my consideration because of just how sharp it is. But overall, like I can't help but feel kind of bored with it. And that's kind of the case with a lot of Penhaligons for me. I feel like I really love their marketing. Their bottles are really cool. It feels like you're getting into some sub-niche world and the whole backstory and the British thing and the design. And they also have quality natural ingredients, but at the end of the day, where they lose points as a house for me is creativity and performance. So this one's no different than a lot of the others I tried from them. Just don't really feel like it's inspiring and it doesn't really perform well. Feel free to comment with y'all's opinions, subscribe for future content, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.